I have feelings for my coworkers, but I'm already married.
Well, you gotta distance yourself then.
I, 29 female, have been with my wonderful husband, 30 male, since we were both 20 or 21. We have an amazing relationship with each other, still make time for dates every week, and really just enjoy each other. He became my best friend pretty instantly from when we started hanging out in high school, and that still hasn't changed today. By the way, this comes from user wife with a crush, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, I have a girlfriend who I do call my best friend, and outside of my marriage, she is. But even that doesn't compare to the friendship I have with my husband. We've had our rough patches, but never anything very severe. There are some things I need to change about myself and things he needs to work on as well. Nothing relationship ending, just things that we need to do to be better people and better partners. And I doubt this will ever change, as it's impossible to just be perfect people. We don't have any children, nor are we looking for children in the future. We both work and bring home pretty decent money, although we both had small patches of unemployment in the past and were supported by the other. There's never been any hostility over finances, regardless of who's making more or who is supporting whom. Our marriage has survived depression, drinking problems, and a couple of physical medical conditions, all met with overwhelming support from each other. We're a great team. Then stop having a crush on somebody else.
Focus on your team, man.
Master your emotions. Our spicy sleep life is great and really active. A dry spell for us is going the work week without having a little spicy sleep because one or both of us are just too exhausted, but that's not very common. We get along well with each other's families, and my family has really bonded with my husband. As far as they're concerned, he's just another son or brother. He's everything I could have ever hoped for in a husband and more, and I really, truly love him. Now, I've felt myself attracted to others in the past, and I'm sure he's been through the same, but it's not anything we've ever discussed with each other. I know that it's normal, and it's never been anything too intense before. If I find myself starting to get feelings for someone who I see a lot, it doesn't take much to shake off. This is the first time I've ever dealt with feelings so intense, and I don't really know what to do next. My coworker is very attractive, super friendly, and I just enjoy being around him. We started working at this company around the same time, roughly 8 months ago. We were in training together for a couple of weeks, which was absolute torture. My feelings came on strong and came on quick. I'm sure I've turned red when he flashes me a smile. It would be embarrassing enough if I were single simply because we work together, but I'm married and I feel like that probably looks really poorly on me. We don't work together anymore, but our departments are close, and if he walks through my section, he'll put his hand on my shoulder and give it a squeeze to get my attention when he's walking by, then flash me that smile. I don't have really any empathy for you saying that you met a guy 8 months ago and now he's able to sort of overshadow your entire relationship with your husband of like that you've had for 10 years or more.
Yeah.
Not really feeling a lot of empathy for you right now. Sorry.
I don't get how that happens.
Yeah, you say, oh, can you not touch my shoulder like that?
Yeah, right?
You say, I'm not going to pay attention to this guy.
I don't know. I mean, I guess it makes sense. Like, if she says that she has found, like, she's been attracted to people, like, I feel like that makes sense because, I mean, sometimes, you know, people are hot and you can't really deny that. But yeah, if you're married and you have been for, 10 years.
Yeah, it's about how you handle it.
Exactly.
Yeah, because you can have the feeling, it's like, what? You can be like, oh, well, wow, I did feel like, oh, maybe I'm attracted.
Yeah.
But it's like now I'm going to put that in a box and put the box at the bottom of the ocean.
I'm going to do some damage control, but it doesn't seem like she's been doing much of that.
Yeah, you're not taking any steps to put this in a box.
Yeah.
I'll make conversation if we pass each other or are at work event together, but I do the same with pretty much everyone I've worked with or currently work with. We don't have each other on social media and haven't exchanged numbers and don't see each other outside of work. I was invited out to a bar nearby by him and a few others a couple times, but turned them down. I work in a male-dominated field and didn't feel right being the only woman out at the bar with a bunch of guys, especially one who I do feel this way about. I avoid his floor at work when possible, and if he's on lunch at the same time, I'll say hi as I pass, but just grab my stuff and eat on the patio or on another floor. Okay, I try to just avoid thinking about him or remind myself of how dumb I'm being, but I can't shake this feeling. I feel like that's like you're feeding into it.
Yeah.
By being like, no, I can't.
Yeah.
It's still there. Oh my God. And it's like.
It's forbidden. Yeah.
Just like stop thinking about it, period. Like you're thinking too much about it. Like where it's like, okay, I'm going to go in and I'm only going to say hi. I'm going to make sure I don't have more than 2 seconds of eye contact.
Exactly.
And then blah, blah, blah. And sure. Yeah. We're not in control always of how we feel.
Sure.
But it's like, that's something we need to work on. We can be in control of our emotions. and our feelings.
Yeah. And there are maybe other ways we can go about this right now.
I'm not afraid I'm going to be an idiot and let passion take over or any of that nonsense. And I think all those excuses for one-time mistakes are garbage. I'm in control of my actions and could never be so cruel to my husband. I don't compare my husband to my coworker or vice versa, and that's not what I'm trying to do here either. I've just been able to shake it off anytime I've had feelings come on for someone else, and it doesn't matter what I do with this guy. If I think about him, it's hard to get him off my mind, regardless of what's going on around me. I've gone weeks without running into him and he won't cross my mind, but then I catch a glimpse of him when I'm strolling into work and my heart will start racing faster. I have a desire to be around him and be close to him, and I just need it to go away. I feel like I'm in high school all over again, except instead of daydreaming in class, I'm trying to get this dude off my mind and get some dang work done. I know Reddit is big on full disclosure, but this is not something I will be discussing with my husband. These feelings aren't coming out of neglect or want in my relationship with him. I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything by being with him, and there's nothing that he can do that would fix this for me. If he were feeling the same way about someone, I can honestly say I wouldn't want to hear about it. If he felt neglected and like my actions were causing him to desire affection elsewhere, then that would be a different story. I know that this is something that would affect him really bad, and I don't want him to feel uncomfortable for the 40 to 50 hours a week that I'm in the same building with this guy when there's nothing he could do or say that would change what's going on with me. You don't know that. And there's no chance of me crossing a line. I just don't see the purpose in creating an issue in my marriage when there isn't one.
It sounds like she's saying, there's no like deeper root of the cause or something like that. And maybe there's not. But I mean, I feel like you could still talk about it. And be like, hey, by the way, I really don't like that I'm feeling this, but I'm just feeling it and I just want to be honest with you. And I really I'm sorry, but nothing has happened. Nothing's going to happen, but I just feel like I have to get it off my chest.
You got to workshop on how to, explain this, because it's like, you can feel like I don't want to act upon this, but it's like I can't stop feeling this way. It's driving me crazy.
Right.
Yeah, remember how we met and fell in love? I'm feeling like that about my coworker. Yeah, that would actually be terrible.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a good move to just deny that there's an issue here. Like, clearly you're posting on Reddit about it. Like, it's affecting you enough to where you're like, I need help. Like, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Anyway, so is there any advice on what to do to shake these feelings? We have an update. Rely on your husband. Like you said, whenever you've been through hard times, you guys rely on each other. This is a hard time you're having.
I think it's the kind of thing, too, where it's like, don't think about a pink elephant. Now you are thinking about it. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know, carry a picture of your husband around or something like that and try to think about him more. Try to think about the work. Or look at the negatives of this guy. Look at, hey, this is why it wouldn't work, because this and this and this. I don't know him. It's been 8 months. I know my husband, though. I know I love him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but we have an update. Hopefully there's some communication going on here. Update. Before the update, I would like to clear something up. I think I may have worded poorly. My job is not male-dominated in the sense that there's 300 employees and like 4 women. It's probably closer to 25 to 30% female employees and the rest are male. We all give each other a hard time and play around, and it's not just all the guys here petting on the women. I've only had female coworkers mess with my hair as they're running by, similar to what I do with my sisters. The extent of touch that I've gotten or given to any of the guys here has been a pat on the back for a good job in a rough clothes, handshakes, pat on the shoulder in passing to get their attention. We're going to make copies, and I've hugged one male coworker who was retiring and whose wife was there for the retirement party. This isn't a stuffy office setting, but this isn't HR's nightmare either. That being said, I did need to find a way to put distance between coworker and myself, given the reaction he got out of me, even with something as simple as eye contact. So, now on to the update. I'm friends with my husband's boss's wife and gave her a call to help get him time off. His employer is very lenient on time off, and I just set it up so that they were expecting him to call out. We had a romantic, extended weekend away, and it gave me a chance to really appreciate him. Thank you to the Redditors who advised putting more focus on us. I don't think I would have planned the surprise otherwise. Now, back to work. A lot has happened in the last month, and I'm planning on going no contact with coworker the very second that I can. Shortly after I returned, I found out that he had put in for a transfer into my department and had also been added onto my team. No problem. Really? I'm an adult. I can behave like an adult, and the time away to clear my head and reevaluate where I was putting my energy had a bigger effect than I had anticipated. Well, things got a little weird.
Uh-oh.
He started grabbing me coffee when he'd pick up his because I took on a new project and was showing up earlier and staying later than normal. But he didn't do this for anyone else whose workload had increased. About 4 of us had taken on new clients. Our lunches lined up a little more frequently. I got friend and follow requests on social media declined and stuff like that. I felt like he would stand a little closer to me than what was comfortable, but at this point still felt like I was reading too much into it. It was confusing and difficult given that this feeling isn't wanted, but I do just feel drawn to him, like there's a connection I desperately want to break. I always park by the smoking section because I have a filthy habit and like to be close. And he caught me tonight while I was walking out to my car. He stopped me and asked to bum a smoke, and we talked for a couple minutes. He then said he had something kind of uncomfortable to talk to me about. He told me he had felt really attracted to me since we first met, and that working more closely with me has shown him that he has some real feelings for me. He says he knows that I'm married and will respect any boundaries I set up, but that he hasn't felt this strongly about someone before, and he couldn't live with the what ifs. So really quickly, him saying he knows that you're married and then saying, I'll respect any boundaries you put up is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, it's like, well, I thought this ring was a boundary. I thought...
Yeah,
like...
my marriage is a boundary, you freaking idiot.
Yeah.
But also, OP, if you don't immediately end this with, whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am married. You should have never said this to me.
Right.
Oh my God, I have to talk to HR tomorrow. If you do anything but that, I have no sympathy for you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I would report him to HR because, like, she's literally feeling the same way towards him.
No, it's not about a report. It's just like we have to reshuffle our team organization because we can't work together.
Yeah, we can't.
We can't work together.
Yeah.
Don't not get him in trouble, just like we can't work together.
Right. I'm really scared that she's going to be like, yeah, I felt the same way. And then they're just going to keep working together and be like, well, it's just so awkward, but there's nothing we can do about it.
So we're going to find out right now. Apparently, he went so far as to end things with his girlfriend.
Whoa.
And is now staying with his parents for a couple of weeks while he gets a new place lined up. He said he could feel something between us and didn't think it was only him. I told him that I am very happily married and that he shouldn't mistake my friendliness with flirtation and that he needs to learn more appropriate boundaries with coworkers. I asked him to give me distance and that if it wasn't work-related, there was no reason to discuss it because we're coworkers, not friends, and left.
Okay.
He looked a little defeated and apologized for overstepping. Okay.
I'm not mad at that response.
I'm satisfied with that.
Yeah.
My husband is out of town on a work trip, so I had to come home to an empty house feeling the weirdest mix of emotions I've had since this whole mess started. Like a commenter mentioned in my last post, this is most definitely something wonky going on with our pheromones, causing the weird flutter of emotions. The way he came across, letting me know he was okay if I cheated on my husband with him, painted him in a whole new light. Good. Yes.
Oh my goodness.
I'm glad you immediately saw that as a giant red flag.
Yeah.
With like neon lights like flashing on it.
Right. Even if you did have feelings, it's not someone you want to pursue anything with.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. No longer have feelings for you because you're telling me to cheat on my husband.
Yeah. Oh, shoot.
So you were just infatuated with this guy.
Right.
He doesn't seem like a charming guy anymore. Just a tool who probably hasn't been told no enough times in his life. I have trouble falling asleep by myself, and this whole situation has been a mess, so sorry for any weird formatting. I'm exhausted and figured I may as well update while everything is fresh. I'm confused. I still think he's really attractive, but I'm not equally repulsed by him as a person overall. By the way, there's something I would never repulse you from doing, and it's listening to the full episodes with stories just like this on your favorite podcast platform. Just search OK Storytime wherever you listen to podcasts, and you can get the full archive beamed directly into your brain.
Oh, yeah.
And we have a little bit of the story left, and I would have loved to beam my thoughts directly into OP's brain.
Yeah.
But man, oh man.
God, this poor girl. I don't know, because I've heard from people too say that like you get a lot of comfort and like safety from a marriage, and then it's like still kind of with something new, even though it's like not worth it at all. It's still that some kind of like exciting new thing.
Yeah.
And so it's just a different feeling. So I can understand like maybe getting to that point, but yeah, I think she needs to focus on those negative features and really not like this guy anymore.
Yeah.
She's got to figure it out. Maybe that's something that she can work on with her husband and being like, hey, let's make things more exciting or something.
Yeah. Okay. There's a final edit here. Special thanks to everyone who didn't read the first post and have been calling me a tease and a sloot. Nice to get a good laugh in. To those who missed my comments addressing it, my husband will be given full details of our encounters when he returns home. I don't want him getting worked up while he's so far away. I won't be telling him about my feelings towards coworker because they are irrelevant to the situation now that it is progressing. So, mini update. I didn't go into work today, but I did get an email from coworker It started with what seems like a sincere apology to then offering to buy me dinner this weekend to make it up to me. I responded with, "Your advances made me very uncomfortable, and I will say again that I am not interested in seeing you outside of work." His second email was another apology while making sure I knew the offer for dinner as friends to make it up for me would still be on the table. I didn't respond to his second email, and he hasn't reached out again today. I'm in a bit of a weird place. I'm growing a bigger dislike towards coworker while still having these weird primal feelings. Planning a nice dinner in and some Netflix and chill when my husband gets home. Definitely putting in for a department change when one becomes available. I spent a little time browsing job postings, but I do love where I work, so I don't think that's the best solution. And that's the end of that story.
My husband has never been the same after his father passed away.
Yeah.
I, 23 female, met my husband, 28 male, when I was 19. He had just gotten a divorce because his ex-wife cheated on him while they were both deployed. He claims that he tried to forgive her and work on it, but she was done. He still has marriage books and self-help books from that era of his life. By the way, this comes from Indeed an Adult 88, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, we will call him Alex. We dated for about 5 or 6 months and then got married in a small ceremony. It was fast, but I knew he was what I wanted. Looking back, I would have grown up more and gotten to know him better, but I truly have no regrets. Live and learn, I suppose. We worked together in the military, even after being married, and I fell pregnant almost a year after saying I do. Wow, they're working so fast. Our little one is currently a toddler and doing well. Since I've met Alex, his father, Zach, 60s male, has been terminal. Heart attacks, and more surgeries. From what I've gathered, Zach, Alex's only sibling Jason, who is 1 year older than Alex, and Alex's mother all kept him in the dark about the severity of the issue. Oh wow. Their reasoning was that Zach was constantly being deployed and they did not want to add extra stress. So they waited until he came home from his third back-to-back deployment and broke the news. This was right after Alex and I initially met. Oh wow. The news was very upsetting to Alex, obviously, and the fact that we were still new in our relationship made things awkward for me, but I did my best to be supportive. Alex took it especially hard because his dad had always been the strong one. Alex's mom had a stroke at a very unusually young age, early 40s, and it left her paralyzed. From the time he was a preteen up until he left home, his dad worked full-time and took care of their now disabled mother. It was unexpected. Flash forward 3 years, and we got the call that Zach was placed into hospice care. We immediately jumped on a plane and made a 14-hour flight. The family spent a wonderful 10 days together before we had to depart. Zach passed away less than 3 weeks later. There was no funeral, per Zach's request, but Alex did get to speak to him an hour before his passing. I knew that things would be rough. I was patient, I listened, I gave him space, I didn't ask anything of him, and moreover, I just let him grieve at his own pace. Alex and I have grown up together over the course of our marriage. Things haven't always been great. He has always had a temper, but through therapy and compromise, we had really built a strong communication system. We were a team. That all went out the door not even a month after Zach's passing. Currently, my husband put in a work request to move closer to his mother so he could help be there for her. He regrets not spending enough time with his dad and didn't want that regret with his mother. It was a huge change for our family and it would hinder my schoolwork, but I didn't mention any of that. I just said, okay, whatever you want to do, I'm here for you. The request was initially approved and then fell through due to timing errors. That only added fuel to this fire. So now on to the problems. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. The problems. Alex is constantly shutting me down if I try to air grievances. Why did you come in here just to witch? I'm not talking about this. If I persist about an issue, he will get up in my face and scream as loud as he can, like spitting red in the face, because he says it's the only way to get me to shut up or calm down.
Okay, so we leave. That's when you leave the relationship, like regardless of if this is because of grieving or because of whatever, you know, and it very well could be, or like you said, you kind of didn't know each other very long before this happened. So this might just be how he is. You don't even know. Like,
I know, that's kind of what I'm wondering too, is like, she's saying like, oh, he changed once his father passed, but like, you only knew him for like a few months before his father passed.
You did not know him.
Yeah. He no longer helps out around the house at all. He works full-time. I'm currently not working anymore, but I'm going to school full-time and bring in almost equal amount of income. I watch our child the majority of the time. If I ask him to get up so I can sleep in or give the kids bath or make dinners, he just won't. He'll fall asleep while watching the baby or zone out completely on games and let the baby get into whatever. I can't even express how dangerous this is because he just absolutely will not listen. He has been sleeping through alarms and just not showing up to work. While work has been understanding, I know this understanding will not continue, and that puts our livelihood at risk. Any requests for therapy, doctors, coaching books, etc. are all ignored and just dismissed. He will just not go. He claims that they always blame him and believes that they have a vendetta. Classic. We have not had spicy sleep in 6 months.
Wait, I'm confused. How long have they been together?
I think at this point it's been a while because he got a divorce. Then they met soon after.
Yeah.
Then they were together for about 6-ish months, I think she said, before they got married. And then had a kid a year later. Now their kid is a toddler. So I think
And the dad's passing was...
I thought that was like soon after they started seeing each other.
We must be wrong about that, because no one would be like he's changed. Like it's like, well, you've only known him for 2 months, you don't know. It's like, yeah, he changed, but it's like a year and 6 months. Like, okay, that's enough time to kind of know somebody enough to see them change.
So okay, everyone kept Alex in the dark about the severity of the issue, so maybe.
And he was on deployment.
And then they broke the news about the severity of the issue, like right after they met, pretty much. There is a sentence, it says, this all started, like he realized how severe it was, like basically right as they started dating, and then flash forward 3 years, and then Zach was placed into hospice care. So this is 3 years into their relationship.
Okay. So
they have known each other for a while.
Okay.
Well, I've always been high libido and him low libido. It has never been this bad. Spicy sleep is a sticking point for me. I want it and I need it. However, nothing. He'll watch corn every day, but spicy sleep is off limits. No kissing, no touching, no cuddling. Just stone cold. It's also worth noting that my mother passed away exactly 1 week after his father passed away last summer. And I did not receive any sympathy from him whatsoever. I didn't harp on it because my mom and I were not close, but it still hurt. I just do not know what to do anymore. I'm back and forth between divorce or just flat out cheating. I wouldn't because it's wrong, but I have been thinking about it more and more. Or just pretending like nothing is wrong and maintaining the status quo. Things have never been perfect, but they have never been this bad. He sees no issue with his behavior and blames it all on me. Reddit, do I give up on him? Is it because of his dad? I'm at a complete loss. Yeah, give up on him. I think it's time. It's been a year since his dad has passed away. Obviously, everyone grieves in their own ways, and it takes time for people to grieve and, different timelines. But if someone's way of grieving is to just like yell at you and to ignore their children and to not want to be around you and to blame all of everything on you.
Yeah.
That's a little more than just grieving.
Yeah, I mean, he's imploding.
Yeah.
He's gonna lose his job, doesn't care for anyone around him, doesn't really even care for himself. Like,
yeah,
he's imploding. And it's like, you can be like, hey, we need to fix this. But if all he's gonna throw back at you is just aggression and anger and blaming you for it, you can go, well, since I'm doing this to you, I'll remove myself from the situation.
Yeah.
So, because I don't want to do this to you. So I'll leave, regardless, because that's of course that's not true. I'm not saying that you are the cause. Right. I'm just saying,
but like,
if that's
what
his
thinks,
mental track,
then yeah, get out of there.
Then say, okay, I'll leave you so that you can get fixed.
Yeah, because you should leave anyway. It sounds like you should leave anyway, for sure. There is an edit. I sat Alex down after he had a chance to unwind after work and told him to pull out his phone and set a timer. We agreed upon a time of 10 minutes, the minimum time requested, and he kept asking for what? I read him this post almost verbatim, skipped the family stuff to save time. 10 minutes isn't a lot to read this novel. I then read him some comments about this thread, some brutal, some sympathetic. He sat there quietly the entire time, albeit made a few faces. After the timer went off, he let me finish the last comment I was reading, and then asked me if I was finished. I told him I loved him. I told him that I care about his health and happiness, but I also told him that I wasn't going to continue to do this, and that I am not the only person in the world who thinks this is unacceptable. That was about 2 hours ago. Since then, I've retreated upstairs for some homework. I've received dinner, a clean house, and heard him and our daughter play. He's still quiet, but his actions are totally a different person. Obviously, it is too soon to tell, but just know that he is reading these comments and they're impacting him somehow. I will update in a few days, and we do have that update.
Okie dokie.
How do we feel about that?
I mean, sometimes that is, when someone's in the void, sometimes being like, all right, I'm going to leave you completely alone. That is the wake-up call. Sometimes people need a wake-up call.
Yeah, maybe it's a good way for her to, really say all of her feelings when it's already, written out here.
Yeah, I think that was a good move
Yeah.
going through the Reddit post and then going through the comments.
Yeah,
And just
I think so.
Yeah, that was a solid move.
I think so. We do have an update. So,
Yeah.
other people asked me how it was that I possibly brought in any income if I wasn't working and just a college student full time. Like I addressed in the previous post, I served in the military for almost 5 years and received a full ride tuition along with some other monetary benefits that set me up very well financially. I apologize if that was confusing for some readers. The last point before the update, I will not be addressing our issues with Alex's family. This upset quite a few people, but I just do not feel comfortable doing that. Alex's mother just lost her partner of over 40 years and is already suffering medical issues herself. The last thing I want to do is add extra stress to an elderly woman. Alex has been avoiding his mother via telephone as it is, so outside of just letting her know the situation, I don't think her influence would have any impact. I understand why people feel that I should have done that, but it's just a hard limit for me. On to the update. Shortly after I posted the original post, I have received tons of responses, private messages, and comments. Some of them were incredibly helpful, offering me a place to stay, links to helpful websites, etc. Some of them were very harsh and accused me of being a bad mother and wife. But overall, the response was the same. Alex was wrong, and grief is not an excuse to be a harmful wiener hole. I added an edit to the last post, but I'm not sure it was seen by the masses, so I'll give you a quick version here. But we already saw that, of course, so we're just gonna... During the course of me reading, he remained quiet and stone-faced. When the timer went off, he allowed me to finish the comment that I was already halfway through. And then when I was finished, he asked me, "Is that all?" I emphasized that I truly did love and care about him, that his happiness and overall health was greatly important to me, but I also let him know that I could not and would not continue to live like this, nor would I allow our daughter to be exposed to this type of behavior. She needs to understand that this is not okay, and I don't want her to ever feel like I've been feeling these last 6 months. All he said was, "Okay," and went outside to smoke. That night, I had a bit of homework, so I went upstairs to work on that. When I came back downstairs, he was playing with our daughter, had dinner going, and I'd cleaned up the house. I thanked him and went to sleep. The next day was supposed to be his consult for a sleep study. He ended up oversleeping again 2 days in a row and missed his appointment. That's really funny. You have an appointment for a sleep study and you oversleep, so you missed the appointment.
I was thinking the same thing.
That's pretty funny. From what I've gathered, he was reprimanded at work and was basically told that if he did it again, he would be facing some serious backlash. He was able to get a new appointment for the next day and ended up staying up all night so he wouldn't miss work or the appointment. That whole day, he was very quiet.
Dude, this guy is the worst sleep study subject of all time.
Yeah.
He's like, he's either sleeping in past his appointment or he's like, all right, I just won't sleep
won't
at all.
sleep.
You're skewing the data.
Is that not what you have to do? Is like
I don't know.
I've heard that you have to stay up so you like can fall asleep or something, but that would make sense that it's like you get
I guess it would
numbers.
depend on the study. If the study is like, how fast can people fall asleep at
Right.
just baseline?
Right.
It's like,
right.
yeah, well, when you haven't slept all night, you fall asleep pretty quick.
Very
I know.
fast. Yeah, interesting. That whole day, he was very quiet, but still helpful. I made no comments and just kind of gave him some space. He ended up showing up to his appointment yesterday at 8 in the morning, and by 10, he still hadn't been seen. I guess at some point, a high-ranking doctor noticed that Alex had been there for an unusual amount of time and ended up being the one to see Alex personally. As it turns out, this doctor was the commander, basically the boss, of all the medical clinics where we were located and has some major pull. So Alex told him of his sleep issues, and the commander immediately saw through the BS and asked him what else had been going on in his life. Alex explained the situation with his dad and for whatever reason ended up pulling out his phone and showing this man what I had wrote on my previous post. Whoa, so we're getting a doctor's insight here.
Yeah.
Oh boy. To say that I was shocked was an understatement. This man, who had been completely unwilling to change his actions for the last 6 months, voluntarily showed someone who could in all honesty ruin his career what his wife had thought of him and his actions. I don't know how impressed we should really be with
that sounds kind of dumb and almost manic. Like,
yeah, I'm not that impressed, my guy.
Yeah, I'm not impressed with him, like, low-key.
Yeah.
This feels like he's almost flailing.
Yeah, like, I feel like you could see that as like, oh yeah, look at him trying to improve and like risking his job. But I feel like you could also see that it's very possible for him to be like, look at what my wife is pulling. Look at what my wife's making up about me. Yeah.
I do like that we have seen some short-term changes right now. If we can continue to build on that and it stays consistent, I like that.
Yeah.
But
we're just going to keep an eye out on this guy. Apparently, there was a very stern talking to about the screaming, and the commander tore my husband an absolute new one. That's what we like to see.
Yeah, commander.
However, he also decided to help him. Alex is now on antidepressants. He is being ordered to get a psychiatric evaluation. He will be undergoing a sleep study. The original reason for the appointment, he's a teeth grinder and breathes weird in his sleep. And he also will be meeting with his commander personally for the next 6 months, twice a month, to analyze Alex's improvement. Okay. The commander suspects that the psychiatric evaluation will result in Alex going to some type of therapy or anger management. The best part in all of this is that if Alex does not go, he will get in trouble at work, which he does not want. He does not have a choice. I guess when this commander was younger, he had a very similar experience, so he sympathizes with Alex. Regardless, this man is an absolute blessing, and whatever his motives were, he is saving my husband's life. I am indebted. Now, Alex isn't necessarily the happiest camper about all of this, but he's not resistant towards it. He's been on this medication 2 days now, and I know that the SSRIs can take up to 2 months to take effect, but I think Alex is having a placebo effect because he's already claiming to feel so much better. Last night, he went to sleep at a reasonable hour and woke up with our daughter without complaint. He took her to the park for the first time in a long time and also made breakfast. While these may seem minor from the outside, this is the most improvement I have seen in such a long time. It is crazy to me. I don't know how to feel. By the way, I know that you should feel good because we have full episodes of more stories just like this one on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, or whatever your favorite podcast app is. Just search OK Storytime. You're going to feel great. I promise.
You're going to feel great.
Great. But there is a little bit more to this story. But okay, seeing some improvement. I'm glad that he got some consequences. I'm glad that the commander was like, yo, quit it.
He's like,
nice
I'm
to your wife."
literally ordering you to take Prozac. Like,
yeah, literally. It does kind of suck that, like, you know, the problems that he was having with his wife wasn't enough to motivate him to go to therapy.
well, I think it kind of,
But
we
we got there eventually.
once she was like, I'm done, that was the motivation he needed to actually start to change, I think.
Yeah.
And it doesn't excuse, like, I would suggest maybe some counseling. There's some pretty big glaring red flags. You know, maybe all of it was caused just by grief, maybe not, but it's like.
Yeah. He's starting to figure things out. OP is sticking around a lot longer than I would have. But, you know, hopefully things do work out for the best.
He's starting to find the will to care.
Yeah. So there is a little bit more to the story. Alex and I haven't talked about us yet, but I'm not going to force it. Right now, this isn't about us, it's about him. Because if he is not okay, we will not be okay. I cannot change him. I cannot force him to love me or to love himself. I'm grateful for these changes, but I'm also feeling slightly resentful that it took someone else to convince him of what I've been saying for 6 months. But that's petty, and I recognize that. I will be doing individual therapy in hopes that I can work through what I have gone through for the last 6 months. I really hope that my husband and I can make this work, but I am not sure if I can ever look at him the same again. Only time will tell, and I am braced for whichever way it goes. I'm just glad that Alex is getting a second chance because before all of this, he was an amazing person, father, and husband. Thank you all so much. Without this post and your responses, I truly do not think that my husband would have gotten any better. I attribute your honesty and your genuine care for mine and my daughter's safety towards this happy outcome. You are all wonderful, truly. And that is the end of that story.
Okay, we got it. Yeah, okay.
We have some hope here.
We're going in a positive direction.
Yeah, exactly. I like that she's, you know, not just blindly forgiving, right? She's willing to work on this with him, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to work on herself, but she's still like, it's possible that this isn't going to work.
Yeah.
Which is
you gotta
all you need.
Keep your eye. I mean, if backsliding starts and all that, you know, it's.
Right.
You need really like, I can't remember if it's 7 weeks or 7. I think it's 7 weeks to form a new habit. And then it's like 7 months to like cement it.
I
Like,
see.
so it takes a lot of time of doing something really consistently before it's like ingrained into you.
Right, right.
And that's why bad habits are really easy to make and hard to break.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I have hope for them. Hopefully everything turns out well. Best of luck, OP. But that is the end of that story